Probably the best piece of advice I was ever given in my life was from Mark Phillips, one of the Berkeley guys. He said, tie every rig and rig every bait as if it's going to catch a fish of a lifetime. Back in the Gulf days, because they're quite expensive, right? Like you see guys trimming them with scissors and cutting them and trying to re-rig them. If you use that mentality of tie every rig and rig every bait as if it's going to catch a fish of a lifetime, just chuck it away and get another one. You need a visa. I'm like, where do I get a visa from? You'll have to buy one.
Yeah, of course you will.
I'm like, can we please have 2 visas? Here's our passports. She says, yeah, it's $400 each. I said, cool, can I please have a receipt? All this shit we go through to get here, giving away a boat to someone is a freaking amazing experience. And then I'm
like for that young kid, it's freaking life-changing, man.
Knowing that you've got a good fish on, and then you're like, what do we do next? Like, generally, everyone says, I don't chase fish. Well, I've chased fish. Fish will generally have a good idea where they're going to bust you off.
Fight or flight comes on and it's going to do whatever it can, right?
Well, g'day and welcome back to Get the Net. And in this episode, we caught up with Wayne Downer. Now, Wayne is the guy who started the Lure Masters competition. And Wayne has also been a pioneer of soft baiting here in New Zealand, and he shares some great strategies for how he likes to target the big snapper right in the shallows. Some really awesome talks about the fishing he's done here in New Zealand and around the world. And I know you're going to enjoy this yarn. She is a long one, so strap in and let's go. Get the Net. Tight lines, loose lips. Welcome to Get the Net, the Kiwi fishing podcast where the yarns are as wild as the waters we fish. Hosted by Nick, a self-confessed multiple-time member of the Caught Bugger All Fishing Club. This show dives into epic stories, top tactics and the must-have gear from New Zealand's best fishers. Each episode we chat with legendary anglers about their most insane catches, the techniques they swear by and the gear they can't live without. Whether you're chasing marlin offshore, flicking soft baits in the shallows or just keen to learn from the pros, this is the place for real fishing talk. No gatekeeping, just good banter, expert tips, and the odd fishing fail. So grab a cold one, get the net, and let's talk fishing.
Yeah, boy! We got a marlin on! G'day, everybody. My name's Wayne Downer, and I run the New Zealand Lure Masters Fishing Comp along with my friend Dan. And this is our 8th year of doing so. And look forward to talking to you today on the podcast.
Yeah, right. Awesome to want to make this happen. I'm really, look, I've personally fished Lure Masters now three years on the trot, and so a little bit late to the party if you've been going 8.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's a really fun way to share time with your mates, and there's the competitive side, which is really engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we tried to make the comp so we could give everybody a shot at fishing it. So we had prizes for the really good fishermen. We didn't want to get in a situation where we had people saying, I'm never going to win. All the prizes are set up for the best fishermen. So we've always had the average prize and good prizes for kahawai. Kahawai is like a species of fish that are your best snapper fishermen won't be really targeting. And kahawai sections become really popular with a lot of people. So we've even the prizes up between snapper and kahawai.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I guess there's always going to be your guys that specialise in one species or another, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that won it a couple of years in a row, but there's also been a lot of people that have got the single longest snapper that are, I wouldn't say everyday fishermen, they're just keen fishermen. Like Dan's dad won it one year at Cowell and 50 knots of wind. He dropped a lure in North Channel in 20 metres and got a 82 centimetre snapper and won the comp.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh?
Then last year, a lady won it, and they were in some terrible conditions as well. And last day.
So have you booked the decent weather for this season?
Yeah. We actually moved it to October, so it was a bit warmer and all that.
Because it was the end of October.
It wasn't May to start with. Way back in the day, we ran them in the winter. There's no real reason for it. It's just I got bored and thought, man, I'll start a fishing comp, and jumped on one of the Facebook pages, and we had like 75 people turn up, and I'm like, holy heck, this is crazy. And we actually had it in the paddock at Wenderholm.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then cool. So it's sort of gone from there, and we've definitely tried to make it so everybody can fish it regardless of the weather. And the weather's always a contentious issue, but we just run it all the time. And if nobody fishes, all the prizes just get randomly drawn.
Yeah, I think I do like the fact that it's sort of open to those with boats, those land-based, or anything like that. I mean, the requirement is you catch the fish on the lure.
Yeah. Like it's been a struggle for the kayak guys. They're a different breed.
But they should be good with the big snappers, right?
Yeah,
if they're in the right area.
That's the problem. They're really good with big snappers, but measuring a fish on a kayak is quite tough. But within every sort of part of fishing, there's always guys that they find a way, right?
Yeah.
So they came out with a floating pontoon with a measurement on it.
Oh, and they share it.
Yeah, a lot of kayak fishermen. Most of the ones that enter catch big fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those guys get some. Yeah.
Yeah. So putting an 80 centimeter snapper on a floating pontoon and a little bit of weather, you take your hats off to them, right?
Yeah, it's well. I mean, even like honestly, mate, even just sitting in a kayak all day, that's hard going.
Yeah,
the hips.
Yeah, so they probably appreciate October a little bit better. So warmer water, warmer weather.
Yeah. Hey, but look. I mean, we could talk, and we will a lot about this comp. I just want to discover you a little bit. What was it for you that I'm a fisherman now? Where was the part where you?
It was probably from having to catch fish to eat. I guess you'd say. Like I grew up on the Kaipara, and stayed with my auntie and uncle on their farm quite a bit, and we just had everything was there. So if you wanted bait, you had to go and net bait. If you wanted flounder, you went and netted flounder. If you wanted snapper, you went and go caught snapper with the mullet that you netted. And then it was a sheep farm, so all the shearers love flounder.
Yeah.
So just was constantly in the water, just netting, fishing, and all of that. And then my dad, we went on a lot of fishing trips out to the graveyard and that.
Yeah.
And that kicked that off. And then a lot of surf casting up in Murawai, which was really, really good. Yeah, that's sort of where it all started.
Yeah, I've man, I'll tell you what, we had a trip planned to go up to the graveyard and towed the jet skis out there, but it was just such a shitty day, and I was like, look, I mean, I'm desperate to go for a fish, but I don't want to come home.
It's a very, very special place out there. You've got to be pretty careful.
Yeah. And I think that it's well known for holding really good fish, right? And pretty much from now until right into the hot seasons, it's good.
The Kaipara's always had a massive amount of snapper. A lot of them disappear in the winter. They'll go outside the harbour, but there's always fish in the harbour. And then you get the runs of gurnard and the mullet and kawai, and not so many kingies. We were right up the Mackerel River, up in there, and but lots of snapper. And even way back in the day, you get snapper in some real strange places. I used to walk along the river when the tide's coming in, walk along the creek and shoot mullet with a 22. You just shoot the bullet next to their head, and they sort of flip upside down. You can net them, and you'd see snapper right up in some strange places.
Your family also had a background of fishing.
Yeah. My grandfather was a commercial fisherman in the Bay of Plenty, and he owned a big fish shop and smoked tons and tons of fish until they sunk their commercial boat in the Hiwa Harbour.
Oh, no.
But my memories of that were Granddad with a Holden 1-ton ute with a deck load of snapper on it.
Yeah.
Race them back, cut them up, smoke them, and all of that. His smokehouse was the size of a single bedroom flat. It was massive.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great memories, eh?
Yeah. And he took us. He sort of got me addicted to between him and Dad, we'd holiday in the Coromandel a lot. So he got me probably started that addiction of chasing those bigger fish.
Yeah.
Back in those days, you'd just go anywhere and catch a big snapper. And,
it's certainly a bit tougher these days.
Yeah, it is definitely a bit tougher, but still plenty of fish around, which is a good thing.
Have you ever had one of those days where everything went sideways? Maybe the weather turned, the fish weren't biting, or you spent half a day tying someone else back to the ramp. Well, that's what the Caught Bugger All Fishing Club is all about. Real yarns from fish shows who went out, gave it a crack, and came here with a story rather than a feed. Thanks to the crew at Glowbite, we're turning a rough day into a win. Send us your best Caught Bugger All yarn, a voice note or a selfie video under 2 minutes, and you'll get a shout out on the show. Each month, one unlucky legend will score a Glowbite cap and a lure to help turn the tide next time.
And I think, we'll obviously talk a little bit about the competition. But you actually had a record for a snapper for a brief minute there.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I was, they brought out the measure records, and I think you had to have a video. So you had to actually, the measure and release for the New Zealand Sports Fishing Council. So you had to catch the fish, measure it, and video it and release it, whatever it was. And I shot up to North Cape one day, and we were having a real crack of a day, and out of nowhere got a really nice snapper, and I thought, oh, I'll measure it, and got me mate to video it, and then contacted Scott Tyndale and filled all the paperwork out. And I rang Scotty first and said, has anybody entered a fish yet? And he goes, no. I went, what? No one's entered a fish? He says, oh, well, all the bits and pieces you need to do. I said, well, I got this video. I've done it. So I went around to his house, filled out the paperwork, and it was. So I've got the certificate. So I had the record for a small amount of time, which is cool.
Yeah,
put that on the wall, and
that's cool.
Yeah. And then I was actually going to go and catch a hiwi and do the hiwi record, but my mate Dan shot out and trumped me on that one, and he got that and a catfish.
He picked your pocket.
Yeah, he picked me pocket on the catfish as well, which was that Gulf Harbour in the canal. But yeah, that's the end of the record chasing for me. Once enough.
Yeah, well, now you're helping other people chase records with your comp, so that's and we're going to talk about soft baiting and how you've got a bit of a specialty in soft baiting. But you actually were really at the forefront of when soft plastics first come into New Zealand.
Yeah, they'd been around for a long time, way back since probably the 70s. There was always soft plastics on the market, but they really came into New Zealand when Pure Fishing and especially Malcolm Dawson brought them into New Zealand, and I wouldn't say tried unsuccessfully, but tried hard to get them into the tackle shops. And a lot of people, that's not going to work. This doesn't work. There was a whole yarn about that for years, right? Like these things will disappear and they'll be gone, and no one will be using them in 6 months. And I was in the right place at the right time, and Malcolm showed up. I met him for the first time. He gave the guys a rod and reel and some baits, and they sort of put it in the corner, and I said, oh, hey, look, I've got nothing on. Can I grab that and go and have a fish? And went out and gave it a crack. And then Malcolm needed some photos, so I sent him some terrible photos. Keep in mind, that was way back in the old film camera days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent him some photos, and he says, oh, this is awesome. I'll send you some more baits. And then it sort of morphed from there. And we become really, really good mates. Fished a lot together and caught a lot of fish. And I was lucky enough that he dragged me along when he brought the Australian pro anglers over.
Yep.
He dragged me along on a few of those trips, and we were fishing with Brett Rath on Assassin. And Brett's probably someone that's really helped me get to where I am today. Like he's a really, really good guy. Just he doesn't fish anymore. He had a back injury, but in the heyday, he was just so passionate. Like I remember him ringing up and saying, do you want to go to the Mokes? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the Mokes. And I said, what do you want me to bring? And he goes, I'll bring 2 lots of Chinese fried rice. And I've got everything else. And I'm like, oh, righto. So I got some Chinese fried rice.
Bring the smoker.
He actually told me where to get it from. That was dinner. I didn't realize it at this stage, right? And so we left at like 4 o'clock in the morning, went to the Mokes and fished all day, right? And I'm like, man, this is amazing. But holy heck, it's like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we got like, I said, oh, Brett, fishing's really good. Are we going to go soon? He's like, oh, yeah. And that was it. And I'm like, oh, bugger it, keep fishing. And then 9 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, oh, far out, man. I'm like, hey, Brett, do these fish bite all night? And he goes, nah, they'll stop soon. And so we fished there from 4 to like 9:30, and then came home, and he's like, maybe these things will work at night. We'll just have a little fish in the North Channel. And I'm looking at my watch like, it's freaking nearly midnight. And like I had a couple of casts, caught nothing. And of course, Brett flicked out and caught a fish. And he's like, yep, they work at night. Let's go. I'm like, we're going to the wharf, right? And he goes, yeah, I've had enough now. And I'm like, oh,
thank fuck
perfect. Thank fuck for that. It's like the biggest day. And then after that, we just kept chatting and become really good mates and fished. And then Malcolm had Mark Phillips and Adam Reuter. So we went fishing with them at the Mokes and Little Barrier. It was a terrible day, and it just carried on from there. And Brett and I fished quite a bit together actually. And then Malcolm started up a fishing comp, catch and release fishing comp,
right? And
then we fished that and did really well. We in that comp, and that's sort of what started off the fishing comp. Catch, measure, and release for me was that.
Yeah, and I think that was when we first started talking. You know, the sustainability piece is really, at the time, beach and boat was sort of the biggest,
Yeah, a bit of a
biggest and
catalyst
baddest,
for what we did. Yeah,
and
yeah.
a lot of a lot of fish being taken.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, when you look at what that comp was, it was an amazing comp for getting people together. I think it had 2,500 people in
Crazy.
the day, right? So
Yeah.
you had a really good social side of it. And I guess that was after the Furuno sort of finished. So
Yeah.
people still loved that sort of thing. And they camped there and real good comp. But everybody pretty much fished out of the same boat ramp, and they took 4 or 5 ton of fish out of Bream Bay. And
Yeah, in one day.
yeah, I think each day was a massive number, and that was sort of something that I thought, man, we can do better than that. And I'd stopped doing the Berkeley fishing comps, and I thought, I'll just start again and see what happens. And
Yeah.
and the whole sustainability thing was more based around that. That's what started me thinking, if someone did that to Whangaproa Bay, which is where I fished, and wipe Whangaproa Bay out, what am I going to do? I don't have a boat that can go to the barrier. I mean, I only had a boat that could go to Motuora.
Yeah.
That was it. I
Yeah.
said, if someone come in here,
What did you have, mate?
I had a yellow fiberglass, a 5-glass it was.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a 2-stroke, and I never turned it off because I was too worried about it not starting. So we'd go fishing for the whole day, and I'd just leave it idling. And some days you'd be like choking to death on 2-stroke smoke.
Burning through the gas as well.
So that was, you'd only go out for a couple of hours because you'd have one tote tank, you'd be shaking it. Yeah, there's enough to get back to the ramp. But like, to be fair, like, we didn't have to fish past the saddle.
Yeah.
Like, you'd launch at Wenderholm,
Yeah.
and you'd zoom out to the saddle, which is a mile.
Yeah.
And the fishing at the saddle was amazing. And then, as all fishermen do, you start looking at the next island, and then had a bad day at the saddle. Oh, I'll go to Motuora, and I'm like, holy heck, this place is like, this is heaven.
Yeah, I mean, it once was. It really was, yeah.
Once was absolutely the best place to catch snapper. And then I'm like, I think we fished with Brett and Malcolm on Assassin, and we went to Challenger. And I remember Malcolm losing a massive fish there, right in shallow, like real shallow. And it absolutely took him to the cleaners. I'm like, oh man, this is cool. Like, this might be the place. So went out in my boat and went to Challenger. Of course, caught nothing after having an amazing day. I'm like, no, I'll give it another go. So went back the next day and cracked it. Just right time, right place.
Yeah.
And that was as further as we'd sort of been. And you're like, even at Kawa, you're like, man, I'm shitting my pants being out here. This is
a long way
can't
out.
even see. Yeah. Where did I launch from? Like, can I get back? And yeah.
If you're enjoying the episode but want a bit more, we've got a bonus bit for you. You just need to head over to our YouTube channel where you'll find it exclusively. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, it's crazy these days, like the whole heading out in the Gulf there. It almost feels like your backyard, you know, and to shoot across to Channel Island or something like that it's very achievable for most, you know.
It is. It's, even though it's a fair old hike, I think people are more aware now of things like wind against tide.
Yeah.
Which is, none of us were aware of wind against tide, right? We're like, shit, there's no wind, let's go fishing. But if there's residual chop and then the tide changes. Then the tide changes and it's like 5 or 10 knots of wind against tide and you're in a little boat, you're like, oh man, this is mountainous.
It's going to be shit. Yeah, I mean, my early days with jet skis, you know, anchor right's not that far sort of thing, you know, and come back, wind against tide. And it was like, honestly, it took me 90 minutes to get back to Terry and I was fucked.
Yeah.
When I got back, soaked head to toe, exhausted, you know, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty risky. But I guess days like that too are when you learn what wind against tide, what all that shit actually means.
Oh man, we've all learned some lessons, and I've learned more than my fair share of boat fuck ups, that's for sure. And you know, especially with fishing at the shallows and all that. Like one of the boats I had before, I was fishing really shallow. I was by myself. I'd done a night shift at work. And then I come straight off night shift, jumped in the boat, drove to the barrier, and I thought, I'll go around the back of the barrier by myself.
So the eastern side,
2.5 meter swell. I'm like, and crazy fishing, frigging crazy fishing. And it was just, you get cocky. And then I'm like, I'll go down there and fish there. And then as they do, you get a wave that's a little bit bigger every now and then. And before I know it, I was up and come straight down on the rocks.
Fuck.
And I'm like, fuck, thought the clunk was so loud, I thought, man, this motor snapped in half. I was so panicky. I just started the motor, it fired up, put it into gear, and drove out. And they just drove straight home. I didn't even stop. I'm like, just fucking keep going, and I'm going to make it home. Got back to the wharf, and to the beach, chucked it on the beach, just drove straight on the beach. And I got out and had a look, and I'm like, holy heck, there's not a scratch on this bloody boat.
Fuck, that's like.
And I'm like, there must be something wrong. So checked it out, got it checked out. And he's like, no, nothing wrong. A little bit of a dent on the bottom of the skeg. And yeah, and like that was that put me off the back of the barrier for quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it sort of made me sort of explore the western side, I guess you call it, a bit more. But it's that same old mentality. You're never happy with fishing there. You're always looking out at the next island.
Always the next island.
Oh,
the next point,
the fish will be bigger over there. I'll go there.
Yeah.
And you just driven past Motuora in the morning and done 50 miles to the back of the barrier. You've probably driven past the best fishing of the day.
Yeah, it's probably a good kind of chance to segue a little bit and talk a bit about the shallows and about, how you, like, the fucking big ocean out there, mate.
It is.
So what are the things that you're looking for when you want to go out and target these bigger snappers on your soft baits?
Generally, I'll look at the tides. So I do like, in certain places, I'll like an outgoing tide, like Horn Rock's a prime example. If you get an outgoing tide at Horn is my favourite, just because it sets the drift up right. And Horn's a place that I'll fish, not shallow, but 10, 12, 15 metres is good there. But right in the shallows.
Because it comes up to about 6 right at the top of that.
Yeah, I never sort of fish right in there. There's quite a bit of weed.
There, but I imagine you lose a bit of gear. And
yeah, so other places that that are real shallow, usually like a rough. So on a real clear day, like Little Barrier is a real hard place to fish on a clear day. There's lots of fish caught on a clear, calm day, but the visibility at Little Barrier is always amazing.
Yeah,
you can always see 10 metres deep. So Little Barrier is a place where I like rain. Rain's good. Swell, rain, swell, and wind are the perfect conditions there. Little Barrier, you'll get like the waves will go up the beach and they'll move all around stones. It's real noisy. No, just a real noise, like the rocks hitting each other.
Yep.
And then if you get rain, it's even better. I think the fish will move in there when they get that bit of extra cover. Like, I don't think fish move terribly far. I think they'll move around for a bit of food. And if they get hungry, I guess they'll go for a move. But so generally, I'll look for conditions that will probably give the fish a bit of confidence to get in shallow.
Yeah.
There's always, like, there's no hard and fast rule, right? And what you find, though, is when you get a system that works for you, that's it, right?
The more I do these things, the more I hear from people's different perspectives. It's like, fuck, all bets are off.
Yeah. Yeah, like that day that I got that measure record at Serval, I reckon you could see 15, 18, 20 metres deep out of the boat.
Yeah.
And that fish was right in there. And I had another day where I took Liam Potter up north and he hadn't caught a 20-pounder. And I said, cast in there and just wind it back real slow. And this fish come out from under a rock and sort of back out of the water and nailed his bait. And that was just a massive buzz. And that day was clear, no wind, no swell.
Yeah.
So there's always objections to the rule. But like the Big Barrier it's a real mix of all the conditions. You'll get a headland with a bit of current on it, which I don't generally like.
Well, you go up the north, you've got the Needles there, which can be pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
You get sort of two currents there and it's,
But I'll find that a lot of the fish is, they're quite lazy, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like I find a lot of the bigger fish are hiding in low current areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the mentality of fishing high current areas is from bait fishing. You need your burley to move and you want to drag fish in from miles around. But you don't want to bring fish to you. You want to cross paths with them. Right. Put the lure in front of them, right? And like, I don't call it sneaking up on them. I'm quite noisy on the boat. There's always things.
Well, there's a lot of guys that trolling motors, and that's the whole perspective is getting there sneaky, and the kayak guys, right? So
yeah, and I think a lot of the fish are used to noise too. Like you got a cray boat that never turns its motor off, right? And it's in and out of gear. And sometimes they're setting pots in 12, 15 meters of water. So that boat, those fish are used to hearing a constant noise. Maybe they hear it come from 4 or 5 miles away. And like before I had a trolling motor, I left the motor running all day.
Well, I guess the same with the mussel barges. Like that, that's like it's a dinner gong for those.
Yeah.
You know, they start pulling, and you can see these big snappers almost jumping out of the water to get there. Yeah.
That's the buzz for me, is the chase. And that's it. But learning where they are is a big part of it too. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like a nice big bay, bay with a like a shallow bay with no current, and you'll find fish just sitting in there. Like we were out the other day with Scott and Jin, and we were just at the Broken Islands, and there's a couple of places Scotty fish that I'd never ever take my boat. I wouldn't fish
Even
there.
thought about it. Yeah.
No, it just looked terrible. And then we're fishing and catching some nice fish, and I look up on the front, and Injun's getting owned, and it's just the braid's just leaving the reel real fast.
Yeah.
And it went around a cray pot and it was gone. So that sort of puts pay to the theory of there's no fish here, there's no fish there. So constantly learning is the key, I reckon.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this is part of the reason why I started this thing, because I've got this thirst for like, I mean, look, I want to get better.
Yeah.
But also like there's, and we've seen that now, there's a lot of guys following that also go, man, this is awesome. That I've even had charter operators message me say, mate, that was awesome. I learned a bit.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, fuck, that's so cool. It's such a
yeah,
blast.
it's and like I'm constantly learning as well. Like that's what I like about it. Like finding a fish in a place and you're like, damn, what's that fish doing there?
Shouldn't be there.
What the heck are you
Doesn't
doing
make
there?
sense,
But
yeah.
I mean, that's the water, right? They swim around, but some of what blows me away is how shallow they'll be.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. And like fish will be so shallow,
Yeah.
ridiculously shallow. Like I remember one day fishing with my daughter, we were in 4 meters of water with the boat casting in, and a lot of the casts were almost landing on the rocks. And if you didn't get it right in there, you weren't catching fish.
So talk me through like when you get that bite and it's a big one in the shallows.
Yeah.
What's the strategy for landing that fish?
I think for me is knowing how big the fish is. Like if you're like you cast out and your bait hits the water, disappears, and you feel a clunk, and you don't even have to have the lot
Like a heavy tug, sort of a.
No, you just hear a clunk, like a bang, or you feel it, right? And then that's usually they'll grab it and then they'll just sit there for a few seconds, load the rod up, and the rod's really bent and nothing happens for a couple of seconds. That's when you know you've got a fairly healthy fish on there. Yeah. And then you're like, shit, I got a real one here.
That's a good one, yeah.
And then straight away start banging into that thing and try and pull its head around.
So short,
just heave on the rod, man. Heave on the rod. And I set the hook. I really lay into it with the hook. So I'll give it 2 really good whacks.
Yep.
And winding down as well. So loading everything right up. And
trying to get any slack out of that line.
Setting the hook. I've had a lot of fish that have hit the deck and the jigger head's fallen out in the boat. And most people would have had this and they're like, oh shit, that was lucky. It was unlucky for the fish and lucky for you. Quite often the jig head will be in those front teeth, maybe up under the jaw and not
so
penetrated.
It's in the bone, not in the fish.
Not even in. It's just the tip of the hook is just pointing in there. Like I've had them fall out in the net. So the not even much of the hook's in there, right? Yeah. So it's knowing that you've got a good fish on and then you're like, what do we do next? Like generally everyone says, oh, I don't chase fish. Well, I've chased fish. You know,
I mean, we've all bought kingies off a reef before. Literally get a hook and then let's go.
That's a bit of a yarn. I don't chase fish. But if someone's on my boat and they've pricked a really big fish, I'll straight away chase it with a trolling motor or get closer to it for them, get them up the front.
Just like we do with a game fish.
Yeah.
Position the boat. Yeah.
Yep. And just try and get them on the front of the boat. I've got a casting deck on my boat, so quite high anyway. And I'll use quite long rods, at least 7 foot plus.
Yeah.
And then just keep the rod up high, so keep the line angle right, and then just move in close. And fish will generally have a good idea where they're going to bust you off.
Yeah.
I don't think they know the rocks. I think they just race for anything.
It's all instinct at that point.
Yeah.
The fish fight or flight comes on and it's going to do whatever it can, right?
Yep. And then a lot of it is flicking the bail arm over as well and letting them have a bit. Like if it gets in the weeds, if they go in the weeds and come out quite quick, that's all good, but there could still be some damage on your line and all that. So take that into account as well. But if they're in the weeds and you can feel it, and I can see it on the rod tip. So if someone's hooked up to a fish on my boat, excuse me, and the line's peeling out and stops, but then you see it in the weeds and it's doing like this funny rod tip motion.
Yeah, it's around.
Yeah, it's sort of in the weeds and all that, and it's still trying to race through the weeds, and I guess the weeds have an effect on it. Yeah, or flick the bail arm open and give it a bit, or just let the rod tip down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably the stopping fish from getting in the weeds is more important, I think, than necessarily letting them run and bust you off on a rock, because weeds have got barnacles on them, right?
So there's no problem to flick that arm over and let it swim out. Give it a rest for a minute. And
you got to get
if you lose the hook, you lose the hook. But hey, you've had a crack.
So you got to get to that point where you're like, I'm going to lose this fish anyway. Flick the bail arm open.
Yeah.
And everyone's got their own technique on it. Like a lot of people, I've seen it'll just hold the rod forever and a day. But if it's going backwards and forwards through the weed and the weeds have all got barnacles on them, you're just going to damage something. And then ping, it's gone, right? But then you don't know how much of your braid's been damaged, which is the worst part about fishing in the shallows is braid damage.
Because the next fish that comes along.
Yeah. Like I always check my leader after every fish. And
it's hard to check the braid, right?
Yeah, but you just look at the braid during the day. And if, say you bust off with a snag, well, then I'll trim a couple of meters of braid off.
Yeah.
And that sort of goes back probably to the days of Fireline when all we had was Fireline, Berkeley Fireline, which was really, really good braid.
So you were just saying a little bit about, well, I thought I'd probably ask you now a little bit about the lines, the setup, leader, jig selection, stuff like that. So talk me through like what you use and in the shallows on these big dog snappers.
Now I'm using heavy braid, like 30 pound plus, 36 pound. Good quality braid too. Like a good Saltiga braid is what I'm using at the moment, 36 pound, which is the main reason I like heavy braid is I can run a 25 pound leader. And if I get snagged, there's a real good chance of breaking the jig head off. I'm not busting off the leader off the braid.
So you don't have to retie.
Just have to retie. So I'll always take 2 rods or 3 rods.
Yep.
And if the fishing's really good, just grab another rod.
Fuck around.
Yeah, and have them all set up exactly the same. And fishing reasonably heavy drag, like even though at times it sort of looks like Facebook drag, it's not.
Yeah,
you've got to have a reasonable amount of drag on it. I really like to set the hook. Everyone's different, of course, but I like to have a heavy drag and just lay under that fish real quick and just give it a couple of good whacks.
Yeah.
But the biggest advantage of like a 30 plus pound braid and 25 to 30 pound leader is you got a bit of resilience here as well if the fish does go in the weeds. But if you're fishing in the shallows, is snags, constant snags.
Yeah.
If you're not getting snags, you're not letting the bait have enough soak time. So you cast your bait.
You really want it to drop right down.
Well, it's not really far for it to go, but you still want to.
Can't skim along the top. Is what you're saying,
it might sit on the weeds. Like you think you cast a bait into the shallows, and the fish sees it. If it's 4 or 5 meters away, and you're whipping it away from the fish straight away, is the fish going to come and eat it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't look natural.
Well, he could do. If he's real hungry, right? I remember back in the day that when gulps first came out, they did tests in the tanks with bass. And a bass would move 10, 12, 15 meters and eat a bait because it was hungry. But if you got a snapper that's it's not feeding aggressively and it's not going to zoom over there 10 meters and you've cast your bait out, it's sunk 1, 2, and you're winding it back fast. Is the fish going to move over and eat the bait?
Can't be bothered, right?
Can't be bothered. But if your next cast was right in front of that fish, it'd be like, oh, I'll have a go at that.
Yeah.
So generally, I like the if you get a bait in front of a fish, you lead it.
Yeah.
You don't know that because you can't see them, but yeah, that's why I like to cast and not move too quick.
Yeah.
Like do lots of casts. Your first cast is always your best cast.
Yeah, first new spot, first drop. It's always
and even when you're motoring along with a trolling motor, like person on the front's got a better chance of catching fish than the person on the back, but that rule always gets broken.
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on the boat too. Like the guys on the bigger boats with a hard top, it's pretty hard to have someone up front, And if they do catch a good one, you've got a hell of a scramble to get them back to where you can net it. And
so generally it's cast in as shallow as you can, depending on where you are. Like if I'm fishing in real shallow, I'll have the boat in 5 or 6 meters and just trolling it along with the trolling motor quite slow. And they have a couple of people flicking baits in front. And if there's 3 of you, you'll all be casting at the same side. So you're sort of covering all
that. 1, 2, 3 type situation.
Yeah. So using that theory that if a fish isn't hungry, it's not going to zoom along and get your bait, the second or third person are going to have a good shot at casting in front of it.
And so if you've got 3 blokes on the boat, so many different bloody baits to choose from, different shapes, different sizes, different colours. Is there a go-to? Is there a strategy for working through colours?
That's everybody's personal choice. I genuinely don't care as much about colours as I used to.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 4 or 5 colours, but I don't care which one I start with.
Yeah.
And then I generally like everybody with a different coloured bait to start with. And quite often like someone with a gulp all the time too. Like it's hard to get away from those early days of fishing with gulps. So
with the
they're
scent,
freaking amazing bait and a good way to show that you're working well and your bait's working well and everything is using a gulp.
Right.
So gulps are quite stiff, but they've got the good scent and and
Yeah.
all of that sort of stuff. Whereas a plastisol bait is my favorite because of the swimming action.
Yep.
So I'll chuck a bait on a jig head. Generally always start with a 3/8.
So quite light.
Yeah, and on a 7-inch bait, a 3-barrow or a 5-barrow is
Yeah.
no problem. But generally I start with a 3-barrow hook, 7-inch bait, put it on, and then swim it in the water beside the boat. Just chuck it a couple of meters up and
Wind it back and just watch it.
or just
Yeah.
move the rod tip and just make sure it's swimming like a bait fish.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's quite important with if you're super shallow and you cast in, say, a meter of water and the bait takes 2 or 3 seconds to sink. Maybe it sits on the weeds for a minute or two on a rock. If you're lucky enough not to get a snag and a fish has seen that bait there and you start winding it back slowly and it's swimming like a bait fish, then maybe that fish has got time to come and eat it. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it's so cool to see a fish come up behind a bait and chase that bait
Hump it, just
and just come in and smash it. Like they're not afraid to swim with their backs out of the water.
yeah.
And they're such incredible fish to see. Like
Yeah,
tell me that you're not keen on seeing a snapper just free swimming around, right?
Exactly.
You don't
yeah.
catch it like it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
well, our family's in Hahe, and you can go into the reserve there.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to, but we take a frozen peas with us. And crikey, man, these things, it's awesome.
How
There's
cool
some
is it to
real
see them,
big
right?
ones in there that just,
Yeah.
they know it's safe there, right? So they
Yep.
just come up and have a feed, and the colours, all of that. It's
I don't
so
even
cool.
think they're that bright, eh? Like I don't think they're like a hunter. I think they're a scrounger.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't think they're smart enough to go, I don't know, hunting food. I think they're opportunistic.
Yeah.
And they'll move around a little bit. And something interesting, I heard the other day, I was talking to Luke, and he was saying that it only takes a few days for a dark snapper to change colour when it's on the sand,
Oh,
which is interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of places that you catch real beat up snapper. And
Yeah.
North Cape is one of those places. Holy heck, the first time I fished North Cape, the fish we got there were incredible, but man, they had some
Scars
scars
and bashed, and
and no tails.
Yeah.
And really, really nice fish. But one of them had a chunk out of its back like it'd been sharked. And I'm like, how the heck are you
Does it
still
go?
alive?
Yeah.
And people talk about picking snapper up and handprints and all that. I'm yet to see a snapper with a handprint on it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Spiro boys, they may have seen them. I'm not going to say they're not. I'm definitely not going to bag them for what they've seen. But I'm yet to see a snapper with a handprint on it. Maybe because they're all dead, right? Maybe they are right.
Maybe they're well,
But
this is the thing you don't know, right?
don't know because you can't see
Goes
under the
over
water
it
that
sluggish
well.
and gets eaten. It's like
Yeah. But seeing them with a chunk out of their back, and
I've seen some pretty funny looking fish that have definitely had a serious incident in their lives and they're still going.
yeah,
Yeah.
very resilient.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
So getting back to like the shallows and all that, that's having 3 people on the boat and casting. You're always going to have someone snagged and retying,
yeah.
and you'll always have that one guy that has multiple like snags.
Poor bugger, it's probably going to be me.
I actually had that the other day fishing with Scott Ninja, and like, man, I retied a rig 3 times in a row, 3 casts, 3 ties.
Yeah.
And you just got to get that out of your head. And another thing is that I find really interesting is like the mental side of it. There's always one guy that has a really good day on the boat.
Yeah.
There's always one guy.
Yeah.
He'd have a blinder, right? And he'd just be solid fish all day. And the other guys, you see them deteriorating, then they start looking at
It
the
gets
sounder.
worse and worse. Yeah.
And then they'll be looking at their phone, and they come back and look at the sounder. And like, what are you up to, man? Just keep casting. Oh, no, there's no fish here. I'm like, well, he's catching
Mate,
fish.
I had a stray lining session with my old mate once, and I think it was 11 to 1 I caught, and it just got to the point where he was just, I think once it started coming on board like that, it just, the psychological side of it, he just couldn't catch a fish again,
Yeah.
I did share the catch.
It's so
but I
common.
think-
It's so bloody common, man. Like you see it all the time. And another thing I like is when someone catches like a reasonable fish, and they'll be skiting and yes, I'm in the lead. I got the fish and all that. And you're like, we've been fishing for an hour. We're going to be here all day. Like, don't skite yet, because that's the first way you're going to get knocked off the perch. And it happens every time.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy. And then I've got this, I'm in the lead. I got the biggest fish of the day. You guys are all, you're not going to catch me. I'm the man. And then out of nowhere,
one comes on board.
fish, one cast, bang.
Yeah. The you talked a little bit about the leader and what's your knot leader to braid?
FG.
FG,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can tie them really well on the boat with my feet and hands.
Yeah.
I can even tie them with the glasses off now.
Yeah.
But I'm not with soft baiting, you don't want to be checking, or you're usually retying quite a bit. So I'm not really fussy on a finishing knot with the FG.
Yeah.
I'll literally do 5 half hitches.
A couple of half hitches.
And leave like
leave a tail.
Yeah, 15 millimeter tail. And into it. I can't even do that Risito finish. So
it's taking me a while, and I figured I actually just do the thing and then an extra half hitch, and it seems to hold. Yeah, but it is a tricky little.
Yeah, I didn't even bother, man. Like I've sat there and watched a video and tried to do it. I'm like, nah, it's not for me. But yeah, as I said, generally, if you're committed to fishing the shallows, you're going to lose a bit of gear.
Yeah.
If you're not losing gear, you're casting out and you're winding it back too quick.
Yeah.
And like when you're winding it back, don't wind back fast. Just wind back slow. Like if I'm fishing in the shallows, I wind it back slow all the way to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me and William Lomas were at the just out of Hohora, and he was playing with his drone, and I flicked the bait in, and a snapper chased the bait and ate it at the boat.
Yeah, right.
And we're both looking at the fish. He had a drone up. We were going to film it, but the drone was. I said to Willie, "Did he get that on the drone?" He looks at the remote. He goes, "Oh no, the drone's 8 kilometers away." I'm like, "What's it doing 8 kilometers away?" He goes, "I thought I'd fly it over home and see what Mum's up to." And we're both looking at this fish. We caught the fish, and but that just shows you, like, wind it all the way back to the boat.
Yeah.
And no jerking. Don't jerk the baits around like that's.
Yeah, well, so there is that. You see guys and they.
That's for bass fishing. Like, I don't know any pilchards that do this.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, they've got a tail and they swim nicely. So make your fish swim like a pilchard.
Yeah.
No,
so
sorry, make your bait swim like a fish.
Just that slow wind and just.
Yeah, well, first of all, put it on the hook and make sure it's set up. Probably the best piece of advice I was ever given in my life was from Mark Phillips, one of the Berkeley guys. He said, tie every rig and rig every bait as if it's going to catch a fish of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I always remember that. So I'll put a bait on a hook and I'll swim it. Generally, after an hour or so of fishing, you get everyone spot on, right?
Yeah.
And don't muck around with baits that are if you're taking the bait off and trying to put the hook through it again, forget it.
Yeah, if it doesn't look right, if it's got a few
worn out,
puncture holes,
just put it in the rubbish, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't muck around with it. Like, even back in the gulp days, because they're quite expensive, right? Like, you see guys trimming them with scissors and cutting them and trying to re-rig them. If you use that mentality of tie every rig and rig every bait as if it's going to catch a fish of a lifetime, just chuck it away and get another one.
Yeah.
Like, it's a relatively inexpensive sport compared to petrol for the boat.
$20 for a packet of soft baits.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, and if you don't need 1,000 packets. You can go out and I don't change colors all the time.
Yeah.
It's great for marketing, like change color all the time, get a new color on. It's amazing. You'll catch more fish. No, bugger that. You get the bait close to the fish. And as I said before, they're not smart critters.
Yeah.
When you see what they eat, I mean, I don't know how many bright orange bait fish are swimming in the shallow water.
No, that's right.
So
that's right. Yeah.
And same with like steel jigs and that. Like, I don't know how many bait fish that kingies chase like jerk up and down through the water column.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. Like, I've got a slow pitch lure. It's fucked. It's got no paint on it. But there's something about, I know that if I put that one down, it catches.
Yeah. Well, that's the mental side of it,
isn't it? Yeah. So it's like if I'm going for slow pitching, like that lure is coming.
Yeah. I love the mental side of it. I love fucking with people, man. Like, especially my mate Justin. I hope he watches this, but he's the king of tangles.
Yeah.
With braid. Like, the coolest thing about Justin is on the boat at some stage during the day, you'll watch him and he'll have 100 meters of braid wrapped around everything and retying it. And I love getting in his head. I'm like, you're not going to catch fish with that. Is that brand new braid? Yeah, I've just spooled it up. That's why I've had a tangle. I'm like, oh, we don't catch fish on new braid. Oh, you should have brought the old rod. And I was actually in a shop the other day spooling a reel up and I had the monumental backlash while spooling a reel up, and he didn't even get a boat beep out of it.
Didn't bite.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of like the fishing journey too for us lads is getting out with your mates and taking a bit of pressure off. We're all busy, we're all working, and man, that time together where it's good male bonding time, and it's you fucking have a bit of banter, rip into your mates, right?
Yeah, and you can be quite selective too. Like, it's fishing in the shallows, like you can let a lot of fish go real easy.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't eat a lot of fish. I love marlin. Love marlin, love yellowfin, which are probably two of the fish that you really want to let more of them go.
You probably don't want to overeat on those either.
No, you don't. But the smoked marlin and with
Yeah.
garlic aioli and the NutriBullet. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But you can be very selective fishing in the shallows. And like, I'll catch fish for my neighbour who's in his 80s,
Yeah.
the mother-in-law, and mate of mine, Jeff, always take them home fish and just be selective during the day. If you can get a couple of 50s or whatever, 60s,
it's good,
whatever
right?
you want. But man, one part of the journey of Lure Masters with catch and release was it really hit its heyday a few years ago where it was a big thing. The internet plays a big part in that, right? Like, where's the ice? Where's the ice? And let the breeders go. Like, fuck that. It's up to the person catching them.
Yeah, look, I guess there's the internet has done some amazing things for us, but it's actually made us fuckwits.
It has.
It really has. Like, you wouldn't say what you say on the internet to someone's face
you
because you'd get a bitch slap. It's as simple
Yeah.
as that, you know. And
This episode of Get the Net is brought to you by absolutely no one. But if you're a brand out there and you like what we're doing, you're keen to see us keep it rolling, slide to the DMs. We're keen to chat with good buggers like yourself that just love fishing.
you know, if I've caught a 20-pounder, if I want to take that fish, that's my choice. If I want to release it, it's also my choice.
Yeah, and that, like I say that subjectively, like I'm running a catch and release fishing comp,
Yeah.
but it's still the angler's choice. If it's your first 20-pounder and you're going to put it on the wall and admire it for the rest of your life, well, that's your choice, right? And if you're flippantly killing every big fish and they've got a chance of survival, and well, that's still your choice. I mean, there's no real hardened, written in stone ethics around what we do, right? It's your choice up to 7 fish. But I mean, I like letting go bigger fish.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest snapper I ever caught, I released, and when it went, I was on solo on a jet ski on the day, but I just gave the biggest fucking like I was pumped that it swum off, you know.
Well, the biggest fish I ever caught died.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just
it is what it is.
I didn't want to put it on the wall because it wasn't actually a very good looking fish, and I hooked the thing accidentally. I don't know, accidentally. I hooked it while I was gutting snapper at Motuora, and it took off, and it ended up in. I think by the time I had it in the rod holder, I cast out, put in the rod holder, it ate the bait, took off. I landed it in like 20 meters of water, and it come up and it popped this bladder. And so that thing's going, I'm not going to chuck it back in the water. But it's really interesting the whole, I reckon it's sort of, it's eased off a little bit now.
Yeah.
Like the whole, take a feed, catch some fish, have a good time. That's what I'm all about, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to take fish home, it's your choice. I don't like people taking big fish home by my boat because it fills the chili bit up real quick. I want 8 or 10 fish for the 6 people.
50 centimetre size is perfect, right? That's
you go chucking a
good
big
fat fillet off it.
Yeah, you go chuck an 80 centimetre snapper in a 70 litre chili bin, you're only getting another 3 or 4 fish in there. And it's sort of, I don't know, that's the way I look at it.
And like I think, look back, it is the individual angler's choice.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I think like with the fishing comp, it's giving people that choice.
Yeah.
With fishing comps, in my mind, like you'd fish hard for 2 days. If you ended up with, say, a big bin of snapper on a Sunday night, what are you going to do with them?
Well, yeah, you've got to fill it and process them.
Yeah. So you're maybe not going to look after them properly. And then,
And if you're doing big days, like I know when we're going to Rangapura for this year and we'll be on the water well before the sun is up and we'll be back right on dark.
Yeah. So I'm not saying people waste fish, but that's the main reason we have the comp on a Thursday and a Friday. It gives guys the Sunday to travel home, clean the boat, fillet the fish, see the family and all that. You're not rushing home on a Sunday night with a big bin full of fish and like, I'll leave them till tomorrow. I'll just tuck them in the freezer and do them next week, and then they end up getting chucked away.
Rubbish.
Not saying that happens, but I reckon it probably does happen.
Hey, I want to just ask you about this tarpon situation that you had up in Trinidad. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really. I mates with Tony Auden, and Tony did a trip up there. Always wanted to do a trip for a tarpon, right? And then we're in the States. We're going on holiday to the States, and said to the missus, we're going to go to Trinidad and catch a tarpon. And she's like, okay, you go. I'll stay in Miami at the beach. And I'm like, oh, sweet. And then Tony says, oh, look, it's a bit of a, I wouldn't say shithole, but it's like freaking so much floating plastic in that. And it's a rough country.
I think they're actually doing that ocean project there now.
Yeah, they are.
The cleanup.
Yeah, the big thing that collects.
Yeah. Fuck, shout out to those guys.
Yeah. So in the end, she ended up coming, right? And so we both we left Miami, and I thought we'll leave most of our stuff here and just take a small bag.
Mm.
And then we flew down there, we got off the plane, and then waited in this queue that was fucking forever, right? So hot.
Yeah.
So hot, right? And you can't, like, the SIM cards wouldn't work there, so we had no phone or nothing, right?
No digital time wasting
Nah,
device.
Didn't care. And then, like, we're going fishing, didn't care. Get up to the queue, and old mate says, "Oh, have you got a visa?" And I'm like, "Do we need one?" And he goes, "Do you?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry, man, it's been a long day. Do I need a visa? I'm from New Zealand, Commonwealth country. We're not a Commonwealth anymore. You need a visa."
Oh.
I'm like, "Oh, shit." And I looked at Sammy, my wife, and I said, "Man, do we need a visa?" She goes, No, I've Googled it. Like, we don't need a visa. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, man, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, but can we fix this problem?" He's like, "Yeah, you need a visa." I'm like, "Oh." And he said, "Where are you staying? Who are you staying with?" I'm like, "Jonathan De La Rosa and Monster Tarpon." And he goes, "Oh, okay. What's his phone number?" I'm like, "Oh, shit, I've only really, like, messaged him."
Sort of thing. Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Oh, far out." I said, "Have you got Wi-Fi?" And he's like, "Yes, there's Wi-Fi." I'm like, "Oh,
Can I use it?
Can I please use it?" "Yes." I'm like, "Oh." Open my phone up. I'm like, "Oh, hey, man, what's the password?" "There's no password. Go sit down over there." And by this time, the airport's cleared out, right? So me and the missus are sitting over there, no bag, enough Wi-Fi to text Jonathan, "What's your number?" who he answered, which is really cool. And I went back and said to the dude, "Oh, here it is here." He goes, "Oh, okay, you need a visa." I'm like, "Oh, where do I get a visa from?" "Oh, you'll have to buy one."
Yeah, of course you will.
I'm like, "Oh." And then I'm like, "Okay, sweet. Where do I buy it?" I go see her, who was right next to him, right? I went over there, and he goes, "Oh, it's $400 each." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sweet." I'm
Like
thinking, holy
Like
fuck.
$1,500 New Zealand or something.
Went over to her and she goes, I said, "Oh, could we please have 2 visas? Here's our passport." She says, "Yeah, it's $400 each." I said, "Cool. Can I please have a receipt?" "Oh," and her jaw just dropped. And I'm like, "I need a receipt with that money because I'm going to dispute this." And then she goes, "Oh, it's $20.
Yeah.
I'm like, 20 Trinidad? Yes, which is like, I don't know, $4 New
$4 or
Zealand.
something. Yeah,
And I'm
wow.
like, "Awesome, thank you very much." And like, she stamped it. I went back to old mate over there and I said, "Oh, I got the visa." And he goes, "Have a nice day." Didn't even look at it.
Just stone cold, eh?
Walked out into the airport. There was our bag. The airport was shut. Open air airport. There's my one orange bag sitting in the middle of the thing. The bag was there. I looked at my missus and I'm like, "Fuck, something's gone right." And then Jonathan had organised a ride for us. So we grabbed the bag. The dude's there. It's this great big friggin' mammoth of a man in this piece of shit car. And we get in this fucking car and this dude's falling asleep. And I'm sitting in the front. Mrs. is in the back. We're in Trinidad. And I said to her, I looked around and I said, "We're going to fucking die in this car. We made it through old mate back there. We're going to die with a $4 visa." And I said, "Hey, I'll drive. Stop. I'm driving." "Oh, it's okay, bro. I'm not asleep." I'm like, "Mate, you fucking fell asleep at the lights." I'm like, "Stop. Let me drive." And he would not let me drive.
Yeah.
So we got to the place, jumped in the hotel,
Fuck,
like
what an
massive
experience. Just-
freaking
yeah.
release. Text Jonathan, didn't say anything. He said, "Hey man, what's the plan tomorrow?" Walk out to the wharf, jump on the boat, 5:30 a.m. So had a good night, cool night. Heaps of Kiwis here.
Cool.
It was out of this world. It was like there's a gold rush on for oil over there, so they're all Trinidad's like between Argentina and wherever, and there's a no man's land, so you can, without tax and duty and all that, you can transfer stuff to the oil rigs. But anyway, a whole lot of Kiwis had a good time. Jumped on the boat, and I wanted a big tarpon, right? And that's why I went with Jonathan.
Just for anyone who doesn't know what a tarpon is, do you want to?
It's like a well, I didn't know what it was, right? I knew what it looked like. So it's a great big silver fish.
Big fat paddle tail thing on
Yeah,
there.
massive big. It's like a 5 foot long kingfish, but silver with a massive mouth, and they're really good at aerial leaps, jumping. And I'd stumbled across that and seen Tony's footage and wanted one, right? So we went and got one, and it was really interesting. So I got on the boat, and this boat prides itself on 25 fish a day.
Wow.
Which I thought, no, that's all good. You know, I've been to the Kings, I can handle this. 25 fish, yeah, fuck you, I'm all over this. And then it was 30 degrees without a breath of wind. And I'm like, fuck, it's quite hot. Seeing a console with a little bit of cover. The guys had plenty of cold water in that. And Jonathan says, I said to him, I want to catch a big fish, which they catch them on ribbon fish, which is like a frost fish.
Live baiting.
No, they're dead.
Oh, dead
ribbon fish.
Yeah, right.
And they fish with like a 300-pound leader and a great big circle hook. And the water's as dark could be. It comes out of like the Amazonian rainforest and somewhere, and it all ends up in Argentina full of rubbish. You can't even see a foot.
Yeah.
So they just fish big, heavy gear, right? And he goes, yeah, I'll get you a big fish. And we went out to this place, and the first bait was like 130-pound tarpon. And what they didn't tell you is while they jump is real cool, but every time they jump, they get a whole lot of oxygen and the fight starts again.
Oh.
So this first fish, he's clicking photos, and I'm like, far out, this is awesome, man. And I'm like, fuck, this thing's digging in again. I'm
really
like,
hard, yeah.
I said, looked at him, I'm like, man, these things fish hard. He goes, yeah, don't let them jump. I'm like, how the fuck do you not let them jump? And then it jumped again, it started again. So that was one, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I got my dream fish, catch another one. I didn't have to catch another one because the deckhand had already cast a bait out. And he passes a rod. Like I held the fish for a photo beside the boat, and the deckhand's just like, here's the next one. And I'm like, the next what? He goes, the next fish. Like, fuck, it's another like 100-pound tarpon. Got the photo, and I'm like, man, I'm pretty fucked already. Like,
I want to sit down now.
yeah, then Jonathan's got one hooked up on the back, and old mate's got one hooked up on the front. And he says, you got two more. And this went on till lunchtime, and I'm like, fuck, I was wiped out.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, I had another whole day the next day, just in case we didn't catch one. Fuck. And then I got to 21 or 22, and I said, mate, if you want me to fish tomorrow, I fucking need to go back. He's like, are you tapping out? I'm like, well, you make it sound so bad, but yeah, take me back. Fuck, take me back to the pool. So we went back, and on the way back, he goes, there's a guy coming over tomorrow called Paul Dyson. Do you know him? I'm like, the fuck? What do you mean, do I know him? He said, he's from New Zealand. Do you know him? I'm like, oh, we've got 5 million people.
Yeah. Me and Paul go way back.
You don't know him. I'm like, no, I don't know him. But if he's a Kiwi, it's all good. Tell him we'll share the charter.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, yeah, it'll be, share the price and all that. So I said, yeah, bring him on. And I thought, I wake up the next day and met Paul, and Paul was like I was in day one, full of energy, all that fucking cranking, right? I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm catching the first fish. This fella's catching the first fish. I'm like, Paul, you get the first one, man. It's a cool experience. Like, I pretty much ticked all my boxes. I'm all good.
Yeah.
And then I watched this poor guy suffer, and Jonathan took him to the same spot. And within 6 or 7 minutes, this dude was hooked up to his fish of a lifetime.
Wow.
And I'm like, hey, man, just catch another one. I'll just watch. Give us your phone. I'll take some photos. It sort of went on from there, and we ticked all those boxes and had an amazing trip. So
yeah,
that was one out of the box.
That's pretty cool, man.
It's 5 years of work to get there because of COVID.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys you don't have to pay a deposit. You just book over the internet.
Yeah, and turn up and give them the cash, and away you go.
Yeah, they're really good because they love cash, right?
Oh, Wayne, that was a bit of a yarn, mate.
Yeah, a bit of a yarn. Like I still can't believe I took my missus there, but she laid by the pool for a couple of days and lived her best life
and
there.
You just fished your little heart out.
Yeah.
Hey, and another one that you have probably also spent a lot of time chasing is the kingies, the greenbacks, and there's one that sort of made you. Well, how would you put it?
It sort of ended it, really.
Yeah.
I chased kingies for years and years with living in Mum lives in Whakatane and grew up. I spent a bit of time growing up in Whakatane and chased yellowfin and all that and kingies and fished a lot with Rick Pollock.
White Island, that sort of a...
Yeah, White Island Ranfurly, and Mum did the food for Rick for quite a while. So back in those days, it was quite cheap to fish on those boats.
Yeah.
So I think it was $160. Actually fished on Tracker 2 to start.
Yep.
With Paul Kingy, and then that was like $160 every 24 hours.
Yeah, right.
So cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
flip $160 doesn't get you a bloody lure these days.
Man, I hate to think what those boats are worth now. I think it's like $3,500 to go for 5 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, chase kingies and got addicted to them real quick. As a lot of young guys do. You see that.
They are so much fun. They really are.
So to land a big kingy is a cool thing.
Yeah.
So chase them at White Island for quite a bit and sort of got that 30 kilo fish reasonably quick, and then got quite a few that day, and then tagged a few and all that, and then went to Ranfurly and chased bass for a bit. Big bass were cool. Took that one off pretty quick. Got a lot of bass on big live baits.
Yeah.
Straight lining them, and
Well, Injun and I had a really big one come up. Bass Pooker, we're still up for debate, but it was, they would have been nearly 70 kegs that fish in.
yeah,
Freaking cool.
crazy. Eh?
Really cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I got to 30 kilos with the kingies and chased a big bass, and then
Yeah.
I ended up with Zane Flutie put me onto this straight lining rig, which is just a big straight line rig, heavy, and it had a breakaway sync on and all that. Drop it down, wind it up 25 turns, and hang on.
Mm-hmm.
And we put down a dead kingy once, and that got monstered. And that snapped he put a rope around me on that one, and we
Just hold you on the boat.
snapped the bent butt, snapped the rod and reel off the butt. And then, so I landed a couple of them, and I thought, fuck, this is not ideal because these things are 100 years old. Like,
You're killing them.
okay, they're not even, they're okay to eat. Stinky bass, I call them. They're not as nice as like a blue nose, right?
Oh, blue nose is
Yeah,
by far
the best.
Yeah. Pooker's nice, but
Yeah, Pooker's
bass,
good.
bass smoke's all right. It's
Stinks.
okay. Yeah.
When you're
yeah.
cooking it.
Yeah.
So then we just went back to chasing kingies, and then I think Rick used to fill out these cards when you tagged them, and he gave you a bit of paper at the end of the charter. You could see your fish, and I started collecting them, and I'm like, man, I got to like 36 kilos. I need to catch a 40.
Mm.
And then that went on for quite a while, and then Rick rang up and he says, I've got a spot on a trip to the Kings. Do you want to come? I'm like, yeah. He says, they're good guys. You get on with them, all that. Real cool. So I went up there, and it was a funny old trip. And it was cool. Got some nice fish.
Yep.
And like that was a reasonable while ago. The fishing was just amazing up there late in the season. Like, I mean, I always remember Rick saying, well, I don't know why we're heading home in May or June when we leave the fishing at the best.
Well, the kingy certainly, it seems to be that end of the season and start of the season.
They're fat. They're big and
So
fat.
we're talking, October, November seems to be some of the second run of kingies, right? And then that May, June, July
So
is
definitely, I'd say White Island would be leading up to December.
yeah.
That's definitely the best time down there. But then the Three Kings is May and June.
Yeah.
And they just want big slabs of meat. Like you'll catch them up there on a fillet of skippy.
Yeah.
So we had a real nice day. I was up there with some mates on the trip, and we got some real good fish. And then I got a real nice one, like it was 43 kilos. And we couldn't revive it, fucked around with it for a bit, and ended up laying on the deck. And like when you see it next to a 30-odd kilo fish, you're like,
It's a
fuck.
big.
And then didn't think much of it. And then on the way back to the mainland, I'm like, fuck, this is just not like, what do I do now? Where do you go now? Like, what's the next fish? Like, fucking isn't any. And
But when you hooked this thing, how did it? What was it like?
it was next level. We'd had a pretty cool day. Like,
Yeah.
quite a few really good fish, and then definitely knew it was a bigger fish. And I had really good
A lot
gear.
of weight on the rod, sort of.
Yeah. Sort of. It's like with snapper. Like with a big snapper, if you get more than one good run out of it, it's a big fish.
Yeah.
And with a big kingy, you got a big kingy. And then, but yes, it's funny though. You'll get a 20 kilo fish that will fight like
Scrap
a 30.
real hard, yeah.
Yeah, you'll think, oh man, I got a big fish here, and up pops like flippantly saying 20 kilo fish.
Especially with kingfish though, you'd be amazed at even the rats. Sometimes they just pull and pull and pull.
Well, you get the same with snapper. Like, I mean, I've caught 50 centimeter snapper, and I'm like, holy heck, this thing's gone hard.
Yeah,
And you're like, is that it? Yeah. And then landed that fish. It was I was on a trevally, a big trevally.
yeah,
And that trevally sat down there for ages before I got ate. And then Rick was saying, wind it up, you're going to catch a bass. And I'm like, oh, fuck, if I catch a bass, it's all good. And then wound it up another couple of winds, and would have been 30 meters off the bottom, I think. And it just got monstered. And straight away I knew I was in trouble. Like, it was a Torsa 40, which is quite a cool reel with a drag upgrade and thumbs on the spool, burnt thumbs. Then Zane come over and jammed his fingers on the side of the spool.
just try and slow it down.
Try to slow it down a bit, and landed this thing, and I'm like, yes, it was 1.62 meters long. Yeah, it was a big fish.
That's a monster.
And we dropped it down with a weight, but it floated back up, so got it. And I thought, man, I might put it on the wall. And I thought, nah, just fucking cut it up and ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sort of cruise. We're heading back. It's a long slog home from the Kings.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at the top talking to Rick, and he goes, "Oh, you want to come next year? And I'm like, nah.
Done with kingies.
He goes,
Oh,
what do you mean no? I'm like, oh, man, it just doesn't tickle my pickle anymore.
yeah.
He's like, he just blank look. He goes, you're taking the piss. I'm like, he didn't say that. Actually, he would never say that. He'd be like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, man, I'll have a think about it, but I'm cooked.
Yeah.
I'm done. And that
Well,
was
that's fair enough. I mean,
last kingy.
I think the cool thing with fishing is though is there's something else to move on to. You got marlin, you got tuna, you know, or you've got international, you know.
Yeah. That's the marlin thing was a tough one as well. Like I never caught a marlin, and all the trips to the Kings and all that, and you know we'd had a trip up there one day. And we're filleting puka halfway between the Kings and North Cape, and we had a light bait out. I put a light bait out,
Yeah.
and it got eaten. And Zane says, no, it's a shark. Give it to this dude, Warwick, who's a dentist, who put a jig hook right through his thumb early in the trip. He had a shit of a trip. And Zane goes, no, let Warwick wind it in. It'll be a buzz. It's a big shark. I'm like, oh, yeah, sweet. So got Warwick down there, and Rick's like, Zane, tell Warwick to wind that fucking marlin. No, he wouldn't have said that. He said, Zane, tell Warwick to wind that marlin in faster or something like that. I'm like, it's all good, Rick. It's a shark. He goes, I haven't seen a shark jump like that. We all turned around. Here's this marlin. So that was my first marlin that I'd set the bait for, and Zane gave it away. And that was quite funny because Rick was really dirty on Zane, man. He didn't talk to him. Hey, he just cut him off, and it changed the whole demeanor on the boat. And then we still had like 6-7 hours home, right? And these guys weren't talking, and I went up to Rick and I said, mate, what? I don't care about that fish. Like, I don't care that marlin. He goes, ever since you've been on my boat, you've wanted to catch a marlin. That was your fish. You set the bait and everything for it. I said, yeah, but that's irrelevant. I said, you and Zane are just having this freaking little silent battle here. He doesn't know what he's done wrong. You're pissed off at him. I said, mate, this is not the way to end the trip. Do you want me to get you a bowl of ice cream? Because he loves ice cream, right? White ice cream, vanilla ice cream. And I'm like, fuck, I hope there's some ice cream down there. So when I got him a bowl of ice cream, I'm like, I know it's not dessert, Rick, but let's just eat a bowl of ice cream and fucking move on.
Well, hopefully he listens in, mate. Bring back memories for him.
Oh, yeah. We had some good times on that boat. It was definitely one of those guys that's been in your life that has made an impact.
Yeah. Bit of a legend.
Yeah, he is a legend. Yeah. And like a lot of people say you jump on a charter boat and the charter boat and the skipper catches the fish. That's bullshit, man. Like I've been next to a guy, Mike Penn actually runs the boat fish dive show. He stood next to me all day on a boat and didn't catch a kingy. Each side of him a metre apart was slamming kingies.
All day long.
Yeah, man. So anyone that says that a charter boat catches your fish, you got a really good chance, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
I'll put you on the fish, but it's still up to you.
Still to catch the bloody things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool.
If you've caught bugger all but still love a good fishing yarn, hit follow. We're just getting started.
Let's like talk a little bit about the Lure Masters because we could sit here and swap fishing yarns for another 3 more hours yet, probably.
Couple of days.
But you know, competition's coming up again. We're in that sort of month out. I'm freaking pumped because I haven't been fishing since the baby was born. So and I've got the crew. There's 3 of us going. We're heading north. But tell us a little bit, I think, about for those that are fishing it, you know, what they need to be aware of and where the best shot is of getting a decent prize.
Yeah, well, it's probably getting prepared is the right thing. Like the app is available to download, but it's not live until
the comp starts.
Yeah, so we'll open the app up and you can send a photo of your baby, a dinosaur, whatever, those will all come through.
Jandals, mate.
Lots of babies, lots of jandals, lots of dinosaurs. So familiarise yourself with the app.
Yeah.
It won't work offline. Sorry, it'll work offline, but in low signal it doesn't work. So don't panic. Have a plan. Hey, I'm fishing at North Cape. There's no signal. I need to get back to Hohora and find Wi-Fi to upload my fish. So if you do have good fish, you got to have a good plan to upload them, right?
Yeah.
Don't text me, don't ring me at 5 to 5 and say, hey, we're halfway between North Cape and Hohora. I've got no signal and I've won the kingy section. That it's irrelevant. You needed to be back in time, right?
Yep.
So measure mat. Everyone loses a measure mat closer to the event.
Fuck, we nearly jumped on the boat without him last year.
Oh, that happens. But we always find a way of making sure people get stuff they need,
Yeah.
So the app is a big thing. Uninstall and reinstall the app so you get an update.
Yeah.
Don't forget your password. And then,
I don't know. I've already forgotten mine, so I
I
have to do the reset.
Because you can't make a new one because it's your email, right?
Yeah.
But there is a reset function on the app now.
Yeah.
So it's probably just, I think, having a good plan. And like, as I said before, the prizes are structured around the weather and all the different demographics of anglers we have.
Mm-hmm.
So we always make it so, like, say the average this year. In my mind, the average was creeping up. The average
Well, it was getting bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah, it was getting bigger and bigger because our anglers are getting bigger and bigger. But are half the anglers getting better and better and half aren't? So I said to Dan, we're going to use the bait junkie we're giving away this year at the seminar.
Yeah.
You and I are going to go and catch a snapper and we're going to set the average length. But we're not going to do it to the comp.
Yep.
So
the first day of the comp, you'll go out
Yeah.
and catch it, and that's the average length.
Well, I don't want anybody to say, oh, you guys caught the fish on a Wednesday. All your mates knew it was 36 centimetres. Nah, screw that. We're doing it on a live video as we always do.
Yeah.
Everything we've always done has been out in the open, and we've always taken a constructive feedback, any sort of feedback, and we've made changes around feedback from the anglers. So Dan and I will jump with the prize boat. We're going to zoom out of Hohora Harbour. We're going to sit off East Beach, notoriously good or bad for pannies.
Depends. Yeah.
We're going to catch a couple of fish, and we'll hold it up to the camera and on the live video, and then Dan can video up with his phone. I don't want to show people, obviously, but that fish that we catch, we'll hold up and say, this is the average length. And then Dan can film that fish going on the measure mat. And
if you get the fish at that same size, you're in the
So
hunt.
46 to 47 centimetres is, for a lot of people, that's achievable, right?
Yep.
But for a lot of people, it's not. And if we get 30 knots of wind and that average, one year I gave away a boat as an average prize.
Oh, wow.
And that was one out of Hatfields Beach.
Yeah.
Young fella up there and his dad went out, just an everyday family. Everyday family went out there, and then the boy caught a snapper in Hatfields Bay, and he won the average prize, which was a Tiller steer fruiser.
Mate, that's going to change your life, young fella.
So, but that's the whole thing about what we do, right? Is cater for let that motorbike go past that. Cater for the best anglers in the world.
Yeah.
Because we have got some of the best snapper fishermen around, and that's something that I find really cool. No matter how good you think you are, when it comes to lure masters and you see the fish these guys catch, there's some incredibly talented
mate, that kingfish last year off the bricks was just, man, unreal.
And like 2 or 3 years ago, there was some amazing kingfish fishing at Coromandel, and one of the guys got like first, second, third or something like that. And yeah.
So one of the things that I took away from a couple of seasons of doing it is, firstly, is you got to measure everything.
Yeah, everything that affects the average.
Even if it's just a 30 centimetre snapper, you still snap it, and because you've got to have all your points on the board. And I actually could have been in the running for the trifecta.
Yeah.
And I caught a kahawai. It was honestly, it was a juvenile, and I was like, I'm not measuring that, but it would have been the third fish I needed to be in the running.
Yep.
And I think the second thing that last year we got into a big school of kahawai and we stopped.
Yep.
And I only needed one more.
Don't stop.
At 55 centimetres, and I would have been at the top of the leaderboard.
Well, there's always a 60 centimetre kahawai, and you're going to find that in a school of 50s.
Yeah.
You're not going to find it when you're catching 300 mil line kahawai.
Yeah.
So just keep going on those schools. Like Coromandel's a hot spot for
kahawai
and we've got guys now that just want to fish the kahawai section.
Yeah.
So we've the prizes for the kahawai are the same as snapper.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
There's a reason for that. Yeah, we haven't been able to replicate what we've done with the prizes years ago. Like, we are in a recession, right?
Yep.
So we're, instead of having 10 certates, that's a dream now. Like, realistically, we are where we're at now. We're still giving
these
away
fellas here have jumped on board.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
awesome.
we would be absolutely screwed without these good roosters here at Daiwa. Honestly, and probably the cool thing about the whole comp is we take a lot of constructive feedback or any sort of feedback from anybody. We change things around based on what people tell us, and we only deal with good people.
Yeah.
Like, we've got really good people that support us. Fruza, Honda, Garmin, Daiwa. Those guys they're the top four.
Yeah.
There's other sponsors as well, of course, but those are the guys that get the comp going. Like,
without them, you're nothing.
There's no such thing as a free boat. No such thing as a
Someone's
free
got
boat.
to pay for it. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone sees all these guys that they fish for, like injured.
Yeah.
No one has a free boat.
No.
Not even injured.
Yeah, he's
Like,
paying for that boat. That's for sure.
Like you get a discount, and we get a discount on the boat, but that's the misnomer about fishing comps, and like that sort of we struggled to get this comp to where it is.
Yeah.
Like, we financed this with borrowing 10 grand off. I won't say who. We needed some money. We borrowed 10 grand, and we had to pay it back within a month, and we paid back 14.
Yeah. Well, whoever it was, thank you very much for
But we got a boat, right?
getting a wicked comp off the ground, and it's. I think the boat price is massive. It's just one of those like, flip, you just buy a ticket, right?
And there's a lot of people that buy a ticket just for that. But the reason we do that as a random drawn prize is to mitigate any weather as well.
Yeah.
The hardest fishermen will fish in anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the everyday fisherman will look at the forecast and be like, sweet, I'll get half a day Friday and all day Saturday or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you're still in the running for the boat for the price of a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the accountant has said we're going to add GST to things now, which here we are at $140 a ticket.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is what it is. But I think chasing carway is something that's achievable by everybody that enters.
Yep.
Like a 55, a 58, and a 60 will definitely be pointing in the right direction.
In the money, yeah.
Even two 55s.
Yeah, man, 55 and 49. I was like,
yeah,
I just needed that extra 6 centimeters and I was on the leaderboard, man.
And think about fishermen.
Stupid,
good snapper fishermen are okay kingfish fishermen. Good kingfish fishermen are okay snapper fishermen. So if you want to win the trifecta, the one that'll have the biggest effect on is a kingfish. So kingfish love stick baits early in the morning and late at night. I'm not a massive stick bait. This is my assumption here. Go chase a stick bait. Even if you're not the best stick bait fisherman in the world, don't chase a stick bait. Chase a kingfish.
Yeah.
Head out in the morning and just go to the local horn. Because if you get a 1.1 meter kingy,
you're in the game.
And you're a really good snapper fisherman and you get like a 74 centimeter snapper, which is a really good fish, but easily achievable.
Yeah.
Over 2 full days.
It's 80 plus to win the snapper every year. What's that?
Single longest snapper needs to be a big fish,
Yeah.
but the trifecta is a kingy carway snapper, right?
Yeah.
The kingfish has the biggest effect on the length.
Yeah.
So go chase a kingfish, and then you don't need an 80 centimeter snapper. You might only, if you get a really big kingfish, you might only need a 60 centimeter snapper.
Yeah.
60 centimeter carway.
Yeah. Yeah. If you
And
get
you're
1.2, something like that, but that's, yeah.
And another thing we get is, why don't you have other sorts of species in the comp? Because it's just simply, you can't do it properly, don't do it. I don't even know if we've got a trevally section this year. I think we have. I haven't had a look. But you struggle with prizes.
Yeah, well, then you think out the prize pool.
It waters everything down,
yeah.
man. Until we get out of this recession we're in and we get other people that support us making money as well, then we look at changing things to where they were. But at the moment, we're going to get through where we're at. And like expectations this year aren't as big as last year.
Yep.
And numbers are tracking along okay now. So if we're aiming for 800, if we get to 700, so be it.
Yeah, cool. Cool. No, that's great. It's a really good cover off of how the comp works and what people need to do to be in the running. And I think I've organised plenty of events myself over the years, and I know how much effort you guys put in. And I'll say on behalf of the sort of fishing community, mate, we really appreciate having these things. It's it means a lot for us to go out, and we've all got all the gear and no idea, but to actually go out and sort of put ourselves against each other for a sustainable and fun competition, it means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's awesome, and it's a breakaway from whatever you're going through, right? Like, we couldn't have a prize giving because we can't find a venue big enough, and that was evident from day one. Like we smashed through 3 venues and we tapped out at 550.
Yeah.
There's no venues in Auckland that can, like, you think a rugby club would hold 500 people. Most of them are like legal for 120.
Yeah.
Like Takapuna Rugby Club's 100, Silverdale's 120.
Yeah. Not much room, eh?
Not much room at all. So,
and then as soon as you go to a venue, you're just throwing cash at it. Costs.
Yeah, a lot of them are pretty good though. Like, as long as you get a good bar take and all that. So that's why we've stuck with the online prize giving, which means that you can have a bit of breakaway from reality, go catch some fish a comp. If you have a bad day's fishing, hey, I might win a boat. There's
Yeah.
some really cool Garmin prizes as random draw prizes. And we're still going to do the balls. Every year, my wife writes every single number on a ball. So they're new every year. And
Yep.
that's how we do the random prize drawing.
Yeah, cool.
All the balls are in the boat or swimming pool.
Yep.
And pick a
Pick
number
it out,
out.
and that's the winner.
So even if you don't fish, you've got a good chance of winning the boat. And the boat's gone to some cool people.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Last year, Tom Harley, we've always had like a real cool rivalry.
Yeah.
He loves his gulps, and I was using another brand, and there's always just like that headbutt.
Yeah.
Well, not a headbutt really, just a real cool rivalry. The moment I saw his name drawn out on the boat, I looked in the crowd, and my daughter was there, and her boyfriend, and William Lomas, and Willie's just shaking his head, and I knew instantly that he knew Tom was winning the boat. And like we went through drawing the numbers out, which is the coolest part for us. Right?
Yeah, I bet.
Like
yeah.
all this shit we go through to get here, giving away a boat to someone is a freaking amazing experience. And then I'm looking.
Like for that young kid, it's freaking life changing, man.
Yeah, it was. I don't care if he sells it. And all the sponsors, like the boat's out there. But yeah, I looked in the crowd and the guys are shaking their head. And I'm like, man, Tom is going to go right through and win this boat. And what happened? Tom won the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So we'll keep doing the boat. The boat is, we sort of couldn't afford it last year.
Yep.
And then I was sort of a little bit unsure, like leading into the recession and all that. And then Froza, who are an amazing family to me, amazing bunch of people, Kirsten rang me up and she goes, are you doing a boat next year? I see you like done a bit of social media stuff about maybe you're going to do an overseas trip. I'm like, oh, it could be a struggle and all that. She goes, I don't worry about that. We'll just build a boat and we'll work it out later.
Oh, that's
Words
amazing.
to that effect.
Yeah,
and,
that's amazing. Yeah.
She goes, we need to be involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was really, really cool for us. So
It's really cool when you've got momentum with what you're doing and you've got people that want you to succeed as well.
yeah, and the good people like Scotty from Daiwa, like the dude's straight up. There's no beating around the bush. And Honda, amazing product.
Yeah.
Garmin, the guys at Garmin are mates.
Yeah.
Like they're amazing people. Like you're dealing with, even if you got like a crazy idea, right? Or something wacky. Hey mate, why don't we do this? Oh, that's a shit idea. Don't do that. Like there's not, okay, mate, that might work. Nah, that's a shit idea. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, it's good. That's really good. It's really good when you've got people that are actually tell you the truth.
Yeah, they tell you the
Yeah.
truth and they're back here and they're like, no, don't do that. It's stupid. I'm like, well, there's no stupid ideas. Yeah, well, that one is. Just do what you do and keep the comp how it is. Like we always have people that say, oh, why don't we make the trifecta? One guy wanted to add sharks. I'm like, how are you really legit going to catch a shark on a lure, man?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll catch a kingy and let a shark eat it. Oh, cool idea, man. Cheers. Nah, we're not doing sharks or stingrays or shit like that. Let's just do the three main species. At least if you catch them, you can take them home and eat them.
Yeah, I love it. And I think we're going to do for someone who's listening today, we're going to take it to the show, to the
100%.
comp. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got our seminar on the 18th of September. We're giving away Korean barbecue bait junkies,
Awesome.
which is a very unique color. It's the first place you'll get them is hunting and fishing in Westgate on the
So
18th.
they'll have to get along to the launch event, and there's someone special talking as well.
Yeah, there's Joe Wilds is going to be doing a talk there, and Joe doesn't do many talks.
Yeah.
And Joe's going to be talking at the seminar, which is on the 18th, which is, I'm really, really looking forward to it. Like if you don't know Joe, look at his YouTube channel.
He's out there doing so much stuff.
Out the gate. He's one of those guys that's really doing YouTube properly. Just a nice guy, no bullshit. A lot like William, just does his thing, knows what he's doing, and off he goes. So, Joe will be talking at the seminar. So we'll give a ticket away. You work out how we're going to do that.
We'll figure that out. We'll figure out the details,
Yeah, we'll give them 5 packets of the new Korean barbecue bait junkies as well, which is pretty cool.
We're good.
Yeah, come along to the event, and we'll sort it out there. And
Well, I think we'll start to wrap up. That one question I really like to ask everyone is, what's your favourite table fish, and how do you like to enjoy it?
I'd say it would be yellowfin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm not a massive fan of like raw fish.
Yep.
But yellowfin
Do you
is
cure
one of
it,
those.
or you just
Yellowfin's one of those fish that I'll just eat.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a fan of bluefin.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I just don't like the stuff. Like you get quite crook if you eat too much of the, like, especially the belly meat. I don't know what the name of it is.
Otoro.
Yeah, you get,
Yeah.
and like, I don't know, I just like yellowfin and like catching a couple last year was just amazing. Like, you know, you
It's
just
the one that got away from me last summer. I got 2 marlin, but I did not get anywhere near a yellowfin. And that was, to be honest, I'm sort of thinking this summer, I ought to get
Fingers
one.
crossed.
I ought to get one.
Oh man,
You
I
know
hope
what
they
I mean? I
turn
got to
up.
make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so yellowfin would be my favourite.
Cool.
I mean, it's one of those fish that takes a beating commercially, so I'll only eat it if I catch it.
Yeah,
If
that's
someone
fair.
else catches it, I'm not going to buy it from the supermarket.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
And couple of questions I want to just run through quickfire at the end here. Where's my list?
Cheers for tuning in to Get the Net. If you're into fishing yards, gear talk, or the odd blowout on the water, flick a subscribe or a follow. It helps us a lot and it keeps the episodes coming.
Old ChatGPT will have it somewhere. Shout out to ChatGPT once again, making my podcast work. Couldn't have done it without you. Hey, so bait or lures? I think I know the answer to this one already.
Definitely lures.
Yeah. One fishing combo left for the rest of your life. You can only choose one rod and reel combo. What would it be?
It'd definitely be a Surtate reel. I'm pretty rough on gear. I'm not rough, but it gets used a lot, right? So Surtate's are freaking bulletproof. And rods are a tough one. Like, I don't really have like a favorite sort of rod I'll use. Like, I got a couple of new ones from Daiwa the other day that I'm going to have a play with. But yeah, it's more, for me, it's about the reel and the braid. And so definitely Daiwa Surtate. And I love the Saltiga braid. And rods, a long heavy rod is that. But
Yeah. Okay.
I'd have a TD Black or
And you're what, like a 4,000, 6,000 size reel?
4,000.
Yep.
Yeah, 4,000 Surtate. Like I've got a 4,000 Saltiga, which lasted 2 years before it needed a service, but definitely the Surtate. They're just such a cool reel. Like the fishing I like to do, you need a really good drag. And one thing Daiwa do is a really good drag.
So
It's
you
actually
crank it up when you
it's a felt drag and it's impregnated with grease, so it's always smooth.
Yep.
Which is the key to it.
And is there a anyone that you look up to in the fishing space?
Yeah, I look up to a lot of people. Like, I really appreciate what Injun's doing at the moment. Like, I love the humour. Like, I love a little bit of
I
humour.
love the two. What is it? Dual camera.
The
dad?
dual camera. Yeah.
I think your whole life is just to take the piss out of your missus and your kids. Right?
Yeah. She's mowing the lawns today. I did a cool little video there. But no, Injun's someone I really look up to, and probably Brett Rath.
Yeah.
He doesn't fish anymore. Like, he had such
you
a massive.
him earlier though. Yeah.
Yeah. He's over in Australia now, gold panning. He's retired. He hurt his back, so he couldn't drive the boat anymore. But Brett's someone that I look back and think, man, that dude, if I didn't, he's probably responsible for me soft baiting as much as I do now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I just like all the up and coming guys as well, like everything, and I like the guys that invent themselves. You know, like the Chums boys.
Yeah.
They just created something.
Mate, they're down the road from me. I had no idea.
Yep. So
that's cool.
Created a following, right?
Yeah.
And you go from Joe Wilds to Willie and Injun and all those places and all those guys, and they're cool to watch.
Is there a species left on your list that you'd like to?
Yeah, definitely a freshwater bass. That's something I've been, I don't know, it's just stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I need to catch one. And my mate Mike lives in Florida, and he's like, that's shit. You don't want to catch one of them. I can walk 10 paces. I actually think he said, I can walk out my door with a beer and not finish the beer before I've caught a bass. He says, you don't want to catch one of them. They're shit. They don't fight. You just hook them and pull them into the boat, hold them up, get a photo, and chuck them away. But it's in my head. I need to catch one, so I'm going to catch one.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I feel that's a little bit for me with the yellowfin now.
Yeah.
I missed so many missed stops last year, and I know that I'd driven over them. I'd see them on the sounder, but just no bites. So yeah. Oh well, look, hey Wayne, I want to say thanks heaps for coming on to Get the Net. I've really enjoyed this project, and today's yarn's been really, really fun. I'm sure a bunch of people are going to get a lot, especially learning about soft baits there. And mate, I'm really pumped for this comp coming up. Eh?
Yeah, me too, man. Can't wait to give away a boat. You might even win it.
Hey, let's go. Well, actually, I won something last year at the bloody at the seminar.
Oh yeah,
I bloody won that big backpack.
Oh yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, hopefully a boat this year. Eh?
Yeah,
we'll try
I'll take it. Yeah,
we'll tee that up.
No, sweet mate. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, thanks, mate.
See you, mate.
Hey, if you enjoyed that one, we'd really appreciate it if you give us a like or a subscribe. It really helps us to keep things going. We've got some awesome chats on the way, and if you've got a really good yarn about your caught bugger all experience out on the water, we want to hear it. Get in touch.